Launches today.
Yeah, it allows Hawaii residents to upload proof of their vaccination status. And our Casey Lund is live with more on this. Casey.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is a voluntary program, so you can still use your paper cards. The idea is to make things a little easier, a little simpler for both people if they don't want to carry their cards, and businesses. And we're going to show you that in a minute. I want to introduce Ryan Ozawa with us, former Geek Beat contributor to Sunrise and a friend of the show. And I walked you through earlier the Safe Travels. This may be a little difficult to see, but it's the Safe Travels website. If you're familiar with it, you click on the Hawaii Smart Health Card. You go through the prompts. It's going to ask for your information. You'll upload the image of your vaccination cards, the lot numbers, the dates, all that kind of stuff. And then you'll get a QR code. Now, what we want to show folks is, we did show you that process. Now we're going to show what a business was. And Ryan, what I thought was cool is because when they announced this, I thought, well, man, are the businesses going to have a special reader? How is this all going to work? This works through just an app on your smartphone, just like the Safe Travels, right?
Correct. It's available for free to anybody with the smartphone or an iPad, frankly, and because it's using that standard Smart Health Card protocol.
So let's pretend that your business,
sure,
that I'm trying to access
all
here,
right.
And let's
Welcome
see how
to
this
my
works.
pho restaurant.
Okay.
And of course, now I need to identify myself. There's a free app that's available, and then when I say validate, it's going to scan, it's going to think about it for about 3 seconds, and then it's going to say, you pass.
I'm verified.
Yep, no personal information apart from your name, so they would probably check that against your ID.
That is the question, and that is, you know, it's worth mentioning that some businesses may feel a little uneasy about that, having to verify this through an app and then also cross-reference that with an ID. We've heard complaints from businesses that say they're just not comfortable doing that, but that is the direction it seems like the state is going, right?
Yep, they could always go back to the good old paper cards.
Which again, if you're really checking somebody in,
true.
And as far as we understand that, that's mostly, you know, sort of the honor system.
Right, right.
As far as we know, there's nobody from the state going around to try to enforce this by checking in with all these businesses to see how they're doing. I do want to ask you about the software, though. This is similar to what they're using in other parts of the country as well.
Right, so it's the Smart Health Card, it's a Commons app, and there's like 7 or 8. There will never be a single app to rule them all because the federal government is going to decree something like that, but you could, some states are using the Clear system, there's IBM system, there's Verify, but this one is very widely deployed.
Very good. And we know that there will be some hiccups. Your vaccination documents, your information wasn't necessarily accepted because you were part of an early trial with the vaccine, right?
Correct.
And we've also learned, Grace, what happened? You said you tried to upload this. What happened when you went on to the state's Safe Travels website?
I wanted to see if it would work, and I put in everything. I uploaded the vaccine card, and it just said that it couldn't be verified, and so it told me that I have to carry the paper version. So I don't know what to do next as far as getting a QR code.
So did it give you an option to troubleshoot that as far as you saw?
No.
Huh.
Which is
we'll have to look into that. And we assume, like I mentioned, it is a new website. So we'll check in with the state. We'll see what kind of problems people could be running into. Because I imagine, you know, just out of the 3 of us here, 2 out of 3 people had an issue. So I'm sure there's still some kinks to work out. We'll be reporting on this throughout the day. We'll have much more still ahead on Sunrise, guys.
It's the first day.
And again, of course, just a small sampling. Hopefully, there are other people that didn't have those issues.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Casey.
Well, let's talk about that QR code system that launched today. We got Casey Lund standing by with much more on that.
Well, a reminder that this is a voluntary program. You can still use your vaccination papers, and it'll work just as well as this. But we did want to walk you through the process. You essentially log on to travel.hawaii.gov. Now, if you've already created an application or a profile in the Safe Travels website, this will be a lot easier. You'll essentially enter your information, very basic information, upload a picture of your vaccination cards, put in the lot number, the date you were vaccinated, and then you'll sign and submit. Now, I've already done that, and it went through. I was able to get a QR code much like the state's Safe Travels website. Ryan Ozawa is with us. He's Geek Beat contributor from Sunrise from days ago. And Ryan, you're going to act like the business verifying my vaccination information. So you just have an app, a free app on your phone, right? And then you'll scan that, correct? Tell me how
Right.
this is going to work.
So this app is available to anybody, facilities or businesses, restaurants, etc. And you scan the code that's provided, and it basically says you're validated.
And then that business would ideally, I assume the state would want them to cross-reference that with some form of ID, correct?
Right, because of course someone could screenshot your QR code and try to use that.
I want you to tell me a little bit about this technology. This is being used around the country, correct?
Right, there is no one app to rule them all. The federal government isn't going to do anything more than issue these little pieces of paper. So there's 5 or 6 other providers, IBM, Verifly, but this one is adopted by several states. It's called the Smart Health Card System, and it's an open protocol. No data is stored. It's literally just checking against the central registry for Hawaii and saying this is a valid vaccination
How
record.
worried should people be about their security?
I think they should always be concerned about their security. You might not want to show your ID. That could be an issue even with the paper cards. But in terms of it being something that is convenient if you have a smartphone, I think it's definitely the way to go.
Very good. Ryan Ozawa with us. Always look to turn to you for questions about technology. So far, this worked very well for me. We heard some other folks at H&N tried to upload their information. It didn't go through. We're working to see what kind of kinks still need to be worked out with the program. But again, this launched overnight. You should be able to log on and try. And we, of course, want to hear from folks if they do have trouble. Reporting at the Department of Health, I'm Casey Lund. Now back to you.